All right, welcome to another Realtor Spotlight. Again, my name is Aaron Melby. I am a mortgage broker with Edge Home Finance, and today I am super excited to have Chelsea Defina here with us. Chelsea is a realtor in the beautiful Sunshine State of Florida. And Chelsea, I just want to thank you for taking the time to jump on here and allowing us to spotlight you. So, having said that, I want to give you the floor and just tell us, who you are, who do you work for, what areas do you cover, and we'll start with that.
Awesome. I am so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me. I love that you're doing this. So my name is Chelsea Defina. I am a real estate agent for Domain Realty. Our main office is in Bonita Springs, Florida, but we also have locations in Fort Myers and Naples, Florida. I cover those areas as well as Cape Coral, and surrounding areas all the way up to Sarasota, Venice, Northport areas. So I have been doing real estate I'm a newer agent here, but I jumped right in, got my feet wet, and have had, success since starting. So absolutely love being a realtor down in Southwest Florida. I mean, who wouldn't want to enjoy being down here?
Yeah, exactly. So you mentioned that you have offices in other cities. So you kind of cover, a wide range of places. So I'm guessing you put a lot of miles on that vehicle. So one of the fun things I like to ask real estate agents, because we know they spend a lot of time in their vehicles, is what's that go-to car snack? I've seen a lot of videos and pictures on Facebook and stories where it's showing what the lunch is and what was packed. But what's kind of your go-to snack if you're spending a lot of time on the road? And then what's that go-to beverage? Is it a coffee beverage, an energy drink? What do you go to there?
All right. So for me, I love the bag, the dill pickles. Those are my go-to. So I always have those to snack on, or some Chomps meat sticks. I'm also my past life as a health coach, so I'm trying to be conscious of that. Go-to drinks, I always have a club soda or seltzer in my car, and definitely coffee. Something that I'm working on, but I'm up to like three or four a day. So it's always iced. I prefer an iced latte with almond milk, or from Starbucks when I'm driving through there, I like a shaken oat milk espresso with some cinnamon on top, and that'll keep me satisfied and happy until I make it to my stop to have some lunch.
Just keeps you moving. So, all right. So you touched on the health coach thing, and I follow you on social media. Got to meet you recently. When I was down in Florida, and so I'd love for you to share a little bit more about that. Your previous journey before finding real estate. What was that all about? And I know you still implement a lot of that today, but did any of that kind of get you to transition to real estate? And just talk about your history with that, and then any other maybe like hobbies or things that you do outside of what does Chelsea do outside of when she's not writing contracts and showing houses?
All right. So my past life, I have three children. So I have a 3, 7, and 9 year old that keep me very busy. I don't sit still. I'm in that millennial generation where I'm always on the go. My past life before kids, I worked in assisted living. So I ran a dementia unit for 8 years. I've always loved taking care of people and helping people. When I had children, the time that I had to put in there wasn't flexible enough to be able to be home with my kids. So I started staying home with them as a stay at home mom, but being I guess you would call it workaholic, I couldn't sit still, and I didn't have that purpose of helping people. So I started working in the online space of health coaching. It started with my own health because I was very stuck in the grips of postpartum depression, overweight, not feeling good and comfortable in my skin. So I started online coaching. I found that I gravitated more towards women. And over the last 7 years, I've been helping women reduce inflammation, not just lose weight, but overall confidence in their life, and learning how to kind of slow down to make time for themselves. And I realized, throughout my history, I bought my first home at 21, bought and sold four homes over the course of, the past 13 years. And I've always loved real estate. My grandmother growing up, she was a realtor out in Arizona. And back in the day when people would come in your cars and you drive them around, I was always in the back seat watching her and seeing these beautiful houses. And my father and my stepmother are also realtors in Fort Myers, and I watched them and the joy that it brought them. And, I was very well versed on real estate as somebody who bought and purchased numerous times. I loved looking at houses. I got so fascinated by the different designs. And after COVID hit, I needed something different. So I started dabbling into the idea of real estate. Um, Last year, the past 2 years, I opened up my own Airbnb in Savannah, Georgia, and I managed that for 2 years. And I absolutely loved it. And became a super host, had very satisfied clients. And I needed more. And I wanted to be able to reach people in a different sense than just virtually. So I got my real estate license down here in Southwest Florida, September of last year, so fairly new, but started right away. I got my listings up and I met new people from all over. My clients, my health clients that wanted to snowbird down in Florida came down. So it all kind of goes hand in hand because I had such a good realtor throughout my purchasing as a new home buyer and a young woman, that guided me through the process. And I wanted to be that for other people. I wanted to show them that you don't have to rent your whole life because you don't have a ton of money to put down, or, maybe your credit isn't the best, but let's set up a goal to get your credit to where it needs to be so that you can start building equity, that's going to help you. And had I not bought that home when I was 21, I wouldn't be where I'm at today, because that equity, it just kept growing, and then you sold it and you put that down in another house, and then the house got bigger and bigger, and I wanted to be able to provide that for other people. So it helps me to continue to help people in the way that I've always wanted to. Yeah.
Yeah, there is so much in there with that answer that I'm just like over here, just like
I
super
so are.
excited for you because, one of the things that speaks to me about what you said is, when you mentioned that you were newer, right? Like I was new to the mortgage world that's at one point in time, back in 2016 when I first started in the summer, the only thing I knew about mortgage was that I had one,
Yep.
right? And so I really wish that I had more of that education and stuff when I was growing up. Something simple like if I was a first time buyer, I would have bought a duplex, with an FHA loan at 3.5% down and rented out the other side. And then a year later, I would have moved and then, had a renter move in there. So now I've got two doors that people are renting, just simple things like that, that I think having a great real estate agent is so huge to help guide you and give you that advice. But just because you were new to this particular business, you weren't new to business, you weren't new to taking care and putting people first in your world. And I think there's so many transferable skills that that people that they can utilize when they make a transition to a new career, whether it be real estate, mortgage, or something else. And I would take someone that has 2 months of experience over 2 years of experience if they had the tenacity and they were resourceful and they just wanted to work hard. I mean, you know, kudos to the people that have been in this business a long time because there's great ones there too. But I could also probably show you some people that have been in the business a long time that maybe I wouldn't want to work with.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
I love that part of it. You talked about the people and kind of putting those people first. So I guess it kind of dovetails right into the next question is like, what do you love about being a real estate agent? What is it that, motivates you to get up every day and help those people? What do you love about this business?
First, I just love meeting people of different walks of life and different stories. People come to me sometimes people come to me where they're in a situation that they need to get out of and they don't know how to. Or, people are coming from out of state and have no idea like where they want to move and what location is best for them. And I've been told I'm very transparent. Like I was raised never to lie. I'm very open book. So when people come to me and ask me questions, I'm very honest. And, if somebody is struggling financially, I'm not going to tell them to move to an area that's, going to put them under. I'm going to find them the best area that they can afford. And you said the word right out, the tenacity. And that's something since I've started, people say to me, like, I love that about you. And I love how open you are when I have somebody that's ready to list their home, like I overshare, like I'm giving them their net sheet right away, their comps and everything, and then I'm letting them make the informed decision. I've been in sales as a health coach, trying to meet people over the last 7 years, and I've never been a pushy salesperson. And for me, like I can smell that a mile away, and I'm sure the people attracted to me can also. So I try to lead by attraction. I share who I am, I share my skills, and I let people see that. And I just love when I get the feedback from people that what I'm putting out there, like they're receiving that. They're like, thank you for not pushing me. I've had so many people in my inbox, and you've informed me. And that's something I love. And like I said, like meeting people from every different walks of life. I love, like, with health coaching, it limited me to just women in a certain age group, where now I get to work with seniors again. I get to work with men again. I get to work with people from all over, from different states that I might not have met before. And the stories that I hear are my favorite, their journey of whether they've bought multiple homes or it's an investment property, or they've been renting for years and they finally feel like they're ready to purchase. And to me, that's everything. That's what pushes me. And I love the flexibility it gives me, because family always comes first, which it should for everybody. And to be able to be at my kids games and bring them to school, and in the pockets of time I'm hustling and helping people, and I love the freedom that it gives me.
Yeah, that there's a lot of great stuff there. I one of the things that I took away from your answer right there is the sales piece of it, right? Even though we are in sales, it feels like you go about your business in a way where, you aren't that pushy salesperson. I've always said, we have two ears and one mouth for a reason. We need to listen first and then speak. I think a lot of times people want to go after that sale and it's always be closing. We've heard that mentality. And, I'm a firm believer of like always be listening, because they're gonna tell us exactly what, you know, they need. I just think of the example, like you said, you go to a listing and you listen to them and listen to what their, concerns are or what they love about their house. I mean, everybody, you go to a listing appointment, I mean, even though I'm not a realtor, like everyone loves their house a little bit more than it's probably, maybe worth. But you listen to those things and then you can, just bring data and facts and you talk about it. And instead of just trying to be so pushy and salesy, I think that's comforting for a lot of people. And, I love what you said about, the stories that you get to hear, because it's this job. I mean, even though we may do some of the same activity daily, like writing a Florida contract is going to be, pretty much, we do this, or you're showing, homes, but the different people that you meet, that's what's really cool is like you said, people are from everywhere, or moving down from Arizona, or maybe Minnesota where I'm at. And obviously we have a lot of Midwest people down in Southwest Florida, right? But just being able to hear their story, see what interests them, and just kind of being a chameleon, and then molding their experience and tailoring that experience to what they need. So
That's why I
I
was
love
attracted to you as well, because you're not that pushy person. As an agent, you meet so many people that want to work with you and vice versa, and your honesty and transparency is commendable as
Yeah.
well. So
Well, I
kudos to you.
appreciate that. I appreciate that. So you mentioned, right, like you're getting out of the you're out of the gate, pretty hot as a relatively new real estate agent. So what are some goals that you've got that you've put up for yourself for 2025?
I like this year is all about education for me, education and implementation. So, I'm constantly going to classes. If I can get on a training, I'm going on training. I'd love to close 20 sales this month. In sales, it is about numbers, right? It's a number thing, but how you do it. And I really just want to help as many people as I can. I want to bring that honest piece to real estate.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that, and I have no doubt that you will get there with everything. Being following you online. You've got just an infectious energy and just the way that you go about your business. So very very likable as well. So that's huge. So um, the last couple things that I guess I wanted to just put out there for you. And again, thanks so much for doing this. Anything else that you want to share about your business, and then lastly, why, if someone's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in Southwest Florida, why should they pick Chelsea?
I think like we said, like a new agent, it's hard to trust because you don't know what they're capable of. So a lot of people might steer away from that. But if you look at my history and, my social media, you will see like I am a hustler. I show up every single day. I'm honest about my journey. And, sometimes it's better to have somebody new because you have that fresh blood. And, as a new agent, like I have a lot more to prove than somebody who's been doing it 20 years. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to get your house sold or to find you that perfect home within your budget. I do things from an honest standpoint, like I've said, like very transparent, very open. Um, and I think that I bring a lot to the table when it comes to that because I put people first and I always will, you know.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's awesome. And,
Driven.
and what's that? We got her muted here.
I'm a really good multitasker, you will find, with three
See,
kids
there we
and
go.
two dogs. So you'll see me
There,
writing
there's
business.
another reason, right? And I think that's awesome too, because I think when I started in mortgage as well, even though I was new to mortgage, I worked at a company where there were hundreds of years of experience. So you said you're working with the real estate company that you work with. You've got those resources there, so it's not like they're just gonna blind you're gonna work with somebody and just blindly go about things. I mean, you've got those resources. Your tenacity, your work ethic, your hustle is going to be huge. And then sometimes, and I mean, I know that I've am going to be doing spotlights for realtors that have been in the business 20 years, but I also think there's adaptability. You have to adapt to what's new, kind of like in the restaurant business. We're seeing a lot of restaurants, they're drinking, for example, is becoming kind of less of a thing for certain age groups. And so are you coming up with mocktail type drink recipes? Are you kind of moving with the times? So I think in real estate too, are you staying on top of trends? Are you um kind of are you implementing social media and video? Right before we hit the record button here, we talked about being able to be online and put yourself out there so that way people can know you, like you, and begin to trust you. And so I think that's awesome. So
Yeah,
anything
social
else that you want to
media.
add about your business?
Just that, I'm here. I'm very well versed in social media. My skill set is attracting people and finding people from all over the world. So a lot of my clients are from out of state and interested in moving down here. So, I'm constantly working on it, promote attraction, and social media is something that fortunately, it's the new time and following the trends. And I'm always going and trying to figure out, okay, what's going to get more sight on here. And marketing, it's no longer, sending out mailers all the time. It's getting face to face with people and allowing them to see and learn who you are. And what better way to do that than through social media? That's not to say, that we're not sending out flyers and we're not going to farmers markets and meeting people and handing out flyers, but I'm constantly on the go. My brokerage has been in business a very long time, very well versed in the area. So if you are looking for a home in Southwest Florida, I would love to assist you guys. Cape Coral, Fort Myers, Naples, Bonita Springs, or any surrounding areas. I'd love to be that agent for you.
Awesome. Well, couldn't have said any better. I think that's a perfect way to end this realtor spotlight. Chelsea, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with us. And again, yep, if you're looking in the Southwest Florida area, Chelsea is a great option for you. Chelsea, thank you so much
Thank
for
you. This was
joining us.
amazing. I appreciate it.
All right, talk soon.
All right. Bye bye.